This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Tuesday, the first day of February in the year 2022. I'm Gordon Mosley, thanking you for joining us. And here's what we're tracking tonight. Minister of Agriculture Zulfikar Mustafa and opposition spokesman on agriculture Kemraj Ramjatan went head-to-head in the National Assembly this morning over the $6 billion in allocations for the Guyana Sugar Corporation, Guyana, and the handling of the sugar industry by the previous and current governments. Mr. Ramjatan, who opened the debate for the second day today, said the coalition realized early in its tenure that Guyana was not sustainable, and moves were made to right-size the industry. He recalled that the former government doled out $3 billion in its first 36 months in government support to Guyana. According to Ramjatan, the PP Civic's continuous criticism of the coalition's handling of the sugar industry is unfounded.
But they felt that we must, like them, make that which is so unprofitable and a black hole, we must pour money, and that is what is going to cause huge problems.
Mr. Ramjatan also argued that the PP Civic government support for the sugar industry is really to cater to its support base and not for profit for any logical reasons. This action, he said, is building resentment in the country, where citizens are observing that Guyana, although not profitable, is being favored.
Because you have a certain base that comes from sugar, a base support. And that base support, you feel, must only have the cash transfers and the cash payments.
In response, the Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa said what the PP Civic government will continue to do is to provide support to the cash-strapped Guyana. He said the PP Civic will never abandon its responsibility to sugar workers.
When we invest another $6 billion, we create more jobs. Tens of thousands of jobs we create. And we help tens of thousands of families. We put in the village economy more cash, and thousands of people are benefiting, not only the sugar workers, but people who live in the community and who depend on the sugar industry indirectly.
In addition to all the money Guyana got last year, in December, an additional $3 billion was given to the sugar company to support its operations. On the promise of reopening the estates, Minister Mustafa said that the process has started to reopen those estates, but it will be done in phases. Despite all of the money that has been pumped into the sugar industry over the years, the sugar company in Guyana continues to see major declines in production. More news coming up in just a moment.
Hello, 31. Yes, 3-1. Almost on the calendar. For more than 3 decades, GTT has reliably connected this nation with innovative technology, products, and services. So we gotta celebrate in a major way. 31 prizes, 31 lucky winners. When you enter our promotion from January 20th to February 7th, simply top up $1,000 or more with MMG. Purchase a handset or SIM. Pay your GTT bill or activate any data bundle or plan for a chance to win a trip for 4 to the Rupununi, free Amazon gift vouchers, free grocery vouchers, free food vouchers, dinner vouchers, top-up vouchers, MMG credit, and free family gym memberships. Hello, 31. Together we connect. Together we celebrate with GTT and win.
Guyana's 2022 International Energy Conference and Expo, under the theme Charting a Sustainable Energy Future, will be hosted at the Guyana Marriott from the 15th to the 18th of February 2022. Meet and engage with energy leaders from around the world. The conference will feature addresses from His Excellency President Irfan Ali, His Excellency Vice President Bharat Jagdeo, Honorable Prime Minister Mark Phillips, His Excellency Chandrika Prasad Santoki, Honorable Prime Minister Mia Motley, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, and many other highly esteemed speakers. Charting a Sustainable Energy Future, Guyana's 2022 International Energy Conference and Expo.
People may forget the present you bought for them, but they'll never forget your scent. Find your signature fragrance at Elite Fragrances and Trade-In, located at 123 Region Road Border between Ornock Street and Shiv Chandapal Drive. Call 619-5151 or 227-1255. Get a designer fragrance for yourself or loved one that they will never forget.
What is fiber? Think exceptional. GTT Fiber is an advanced high-speed internet product that delivers broadband by fiber optic cables with download speeds of up to 150 megabits per second. It means your internet is faster, and GTT Fiber comes with the added coverage of our Plume HomePass Wi-Fi system. Plume extends your Wi-Fi signal to ensure that you have the best experience in every corner of your home with Wi-Fi everywhere. Upgrade to GTT Fiber today and don't get left behind tomorrow.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
We've got exciting news! All 12-ounce yellow cab Buster are now only $100. Buster, live in
Come
full
get
color.
your Buster, Buster $100. Come get your Buster, Buster $100.
Welcome back. Well, after searching for more than 2 decades, the Canadian company CGX Energy and its partner Frontier Energy Corporation have struck oil in Guyana, off the coast of the Caribbean. In a statement last evening, the CGX company announced that they have discovered an oil and gas reservoir off the coast of Guyana, and drilling on a second well could begin later this year. While not disclosing the actual size of the potential find, the CGX company explained that the discovery was made at the Kawa 1 well in the Caribbean block offshore Guyana. The CEO of Frontier, which is a partner company for CGX, said that they are pleased to have successfully drilled the well. Last month, CGX said the Kawa 1 results suggested the presence of oil and gas, but warned it may be required to seek additional financing to continue drilling. Costs associated with the well had risen to between $115 million and $125 million, the company said. Final well estimates and additional results of the discovery will be disclosed in the future, the company announced. Guyana already produces about 120,000 barrels of oil per day from an offshore project controlled by the consortium of ExxonMobil Hess Corporation and China Sinuk Limited. The latest discovery is expected to add to that amount. In the world of business, the government has increased the allocation to the Small Business Development Fund to $300 million. A total of 746 small businesses benefited from the program last year. Speaking as part of the 2022 budget debates on Monday, the Minister of Tourism, Industry and Commerce, Onesh Waldron, touted the fund as an example of the government delivering on promises to support small businesses through access to various resources. She stressed that the $200 million allocated to the fund last year did not only benefit startups, but allowed existing businesses to continue operations in the face of the pandemic.
And for many to upscale and expand many times over. Such was the unprecedented success of the Small Business Grant Program that this year we are increasing the envelope by 50% to $300 million.
According to the minister who holds responsibility for the business sector, the fund has also allowed her ministry to offer specialized training to persons living with disabilities so that they could enter the workforce. The initiative, she said, was a direct response to a request from an organization working with those persons.
Through our budget measures, past and present, that our track record is one of caring, it is a record of compassion, it is a record of integrity. We stand by and perform every word we have to the people. You can also see from our record, Mr. Speaker, implementation, that our record is that of competence.
Meanwhile, Minister Waldron went on to explain that as part of the effort to create new local markets, the government has instituted a 5% margin of preference for small businesses in public procurement and has removed the requirement of bid security for contracts under $7 million. She said that last measure means that small businesses which have the skill and experience to execute contracts will not be excluded due to an inability to provide collateral for a bank or insurance guarantee. Let's tell you now that an abandoned Venezuelan registered aircraft was found over the weekend in Guyana at an illegal airstrip in Curutuni, about 20 kilometers from the Curupukari crossing in Region 8. An investigation into the discovery of the illegal aircraft and the illegal airstrip has been launched by the Ministry of Home Affairs, the Guyana Police Force, and the Guyana Defense Force. In a statement, the Ministry of Home Affairs said the aircraft carries the Venezuelan registration number YV506. It was explained that on Saturday, police ranks in Mabura acted on information and discovered the Cessna 310 model aircraft in the bushes covered with branches and the tarpaulin. The statement said the propeller of the aircraft was removed and placed onto the aircraft. According to the Ministry of Home Affairs, it is suspected that the aircraft is without key documentation, which will make it difficult to track the airframe, engine, and propeller time. A search was conducted in and around the aircraft, but no illegal substance was found in either the cabin or cargo space. Nothing was found in the immediate vicinity either. According to an early assessment by the lead engineer, the damage to the aircraft is extensive and beyond repair. However, further assessment will be conducted by the Guyana Civil Aviation Authority. In the past 2 years, there were at least 3 other illegal aircraft discovered in Guyana. In at least 2 of those cases, the planes were being used to ferry narcotics. In its annual review of the national budget, the accounting firm of Raman McRae did not appear too pleased with a number of the budget measures announced by the Finance Minister, Dr. Ashley Singh. In evaluating the budget, Raman McRae touched on a range of allocations, including the Because We Care Cash Grant Initiative, which was increased from $15,000 per child to $25,000 per child. While the initiative has received commendations, the Raman McRae company said the cash grant appeared to be the medium of choice to assist the needy. But even so, such transactions are notoriously vulnerable to fraud, misappropriation, and corruption. The company said there is also a bigger and more fundamental issue. The allocation is not within the constitutional and statutory framework for unforeseen expenditure. According to Raman McRae, that is why there is a contingency fund. And the request by the government has dangers and certainly violates the spirit, if not the letter, of the provisions of the Constitution on spending. Additionally, the accounting firm notes that while the measures to support the vulnerable are welcomed, they are still inadequate, noting that there can be increases if such expenditure is targeted to the vulnerable. As it relates to the removal of the 2% withholding tax, the accounting firm found that this measure was misguided and unfortunate. It said it was an anti-avoidance measure designed to bring into the tax net those contractors who avoided their direct tax obligations, including non-deduction of PAYE from their employees. It also assisted the GRA, the company said, in identifying the tax evaders through the monthly remitted by the payer. The tax system, Raman McRae explained, is returning to itemized deductions, which was abolished and replaced by the higher of the personal allowance, or 1/3 of total income. It observed that the 1/3 continues in a regressive structure and favors higher income earners. In its review, the Raman McRae company also raised concern about the legality of the recently passed Natural Resource Fund, saying that the act makes the NRF a corporation, and therefore it is unclear of the company's judiciary. Raman McRae said a similar arrangement was pronounced on by the court, which referred to such an arrangement as a non-entity. The state-owned broadcast of the National Communications Network is coming under fire from the People's National Congress for only airing the contributions of government members in its broadcast of the national budget debate. The People's National Congress Reform is the largest party in the APNU-AFC opposition coalition. In its broadcast of the national budget debates in its television stations and on social media, on the first day of those debates, NCN completely ignored the contributions from the opposition side of the assembly. In a statement this morning, the People's National Congress reminded that the state broadcaster that the state media is obligated to cover the views and the activities of the parliamentary opposition in a fair and objective manner. The party said that numerous fair-minded citizens alerted the party to NCN's coverage of the first day of the budget debates, where they were exclusive focus on the government MPs. The People's National Congress Reform says it does not need to relitigate the well-established position that the state media is not the exclusive exclusive mouthpiece of the ruling party. The PNC said the complaints from citizens yesterday about NCN's one-sided coverage testified to the fact that ordinary Guyanese expect the management of the state media to rebuff attempts at government control and to perform its duties in a professional manner. The PNC has now issued a call for the state broadcaster to provide coverage of the members of parliament from both sides to reflect the seat allocation in the National Assembly and to ensure such coverage is fair in terms of program schedule, duration, rebroadcasts, and relays. The PNC reform said NCN needs to also inform the nation through a release that it intends to or has already taken the actions recommended by the opposition. The opposition said its demands remain valid regardless of whether NCN is providing full live coverage or selective delayed coverage. Contacted this morning for a comment, the acting CEO of NCN, Nia Suban, said he was involved in a meeting and will get back to us later. In the courts, 4 Venezuelan nationals, including 2 girls ages 14 and 16, have been charged for the attempted murder of another Venezuelan teenager after allegedly assaulting and stabbing the 16-year-old. The 4 accused appeared before Magistrate Clive Nurse and were not required to enter a plea to the indictable charge. According to the police report, it is alleged that on the 28th of January at Cummings Street here in Georgetown, 22-year-old Evelyn Alfonso, 20-year-old Roxana Alfonso, and the 2 teenagers attempted to murder another 16-year-old Venezuelan national. The court was told that the teenage victim and her aunt were walking along Cummings Street when they were surrounded by the 2 adults and 2 teens who were all armed with knives. A fight broke out between the girl and her attackers, and it was during the fight that she was stabbed to her neck. The entire incident was caught on camera. With no legal representation and taking into account the seriousness of the charge, the magistrate remanded the 4 accused. The 2 adults will be taken to prison, while the 2 teens are likely to be detained at the juvenile detention facility.
Hello, 31. Yes, 3-1. Almost on the calendar. For more than 3 decades, GTT has reliably connected this nation with innovative technology, products, and services. So we gotta celebrate in a major way. 31 prizes, 31 lucky winners. When you enter our promotion from January 20th to February 7th, simply top up $1,000 or more with MMG. Purchase a handset or SIM. Pay your GTT bill or activate any data bundle or plan for a chance to win a trip for 4 to the Rupinuni, free Amazon gift vouchers, free grocery vouchers, free food vouchers, dinner vouchers, top-up vouchers, MMG credit, and free family gym memberships. Hello, 31. Together we connect. Together we celebrate with GTT and win.
Guyana's 2022 International Energy Conference and Expo under the theme Charting a Sustainable Energy Future will be hosted at the Guyana Marriott from the 15th to the 18th of February 2022. Meet and engage with energy leaders from around the world. The conference will feature addresses from His Excellency President Irfan Ali, His Excellency Vice President Bharat Jagdeo, Honorable Prime Minister Mark Phillips, His Excellency Chandrika Prasad Santoki, Honorable Prime Minister Mia Motley, His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo, and many other highly esteemed speakers. Charting a Sustainable Energy Future, Guyana's 2022 International Energy Conference and Expo.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Exciting news! All 12-ounce yellow cab Buster are now only $100. Buster, live in
Come
full
get
color.
your Buster, Buster $100. Come get your Buster, Buster $100.
How fast is fiber? Think fast. GTT Fiber has 3 packages with download speeds of 50, 100, and 150 megabits per second. That's fast enough to stream movies and music, to chat with Gran and Fran, to study, and more. What would you do? Upgrade to GTT Fiber today and don't get left behind tomorrow.
Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up. Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guyana Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guyana's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Across the region tonight, at least 14 people died and another 32 were injured in a landslide in the north of Ecuador's capital of Quito. The country's emergency response office has announced. Torrential rains on Monday night caused a buildup of water in a gorge near the working-class neighborhood of La Gasca and La Comuna, sending mud and rocks down on residents and affecting electricity provision. Authorities said late on Monday that 9 people were missing and 32 were injured. Social media videos showed a muddy river flowing through neighborhood streets, carrying with it trees, vehicles, dumpsters, and even electricity poles as residents screamed out for help. Other images showed some people being rescued from the current by neighbors. The landslide also affected a sports field where several people were exercising. Ecuador is facing heavy rains in several areas, which have caused rivers to overflow and has affected hundreds of homes and roads. Rains in Quito on Monday were equivalent to 75 liters. The environment minister in Peru has announced that the Peruvian government will temporarily suspend Repsol's offshore oil unloading operations following a spill of over 10,000 barrels of oil that has caused widespread environmental damage. The official said a suspension of operations would last until the company can offer technical guarantees and that another oil spill will not happen. In addition, the company has not shown clear cleaning actions, the official from the government said. In a statement, Repsol said it considered the decision to be disproportionate and unreasonable, and the company would make every effort to avoid the risk of shortages of essential products. Repsol's refinery is the largest in Peru, and the company said it accounts for 40% of the Peruvian fuel market. The outgoing Peruvian Prime Minister, who resigned from her role on Monday, said the administration had been working on an international lawsuit against Repsol over the gravity of the environmental disaster. And finally tonight, international news. In the US, all federal prisons were placed on lockdown after a gang fight left 2 inmates dead at a facility in Texas. 2 other prisoners were seriously hurt in the violence at the high-security facility. In a statement, the FBI said it was responding with an abundance of caution, adding that the lockdown was a temporary measure. It is rare for such measures to apply to the entire federal prison system. Most of America's prisoners are held in facilities run by the individual state as opposed to the federal government. The Bureau of Prisons has 134 facilities housing more than 150,000 inmates around the U.S., according to the latest information on its website. When prisons are placed on lockdown, it typically involves inmates being confined to their cells with restrictions placed on visitor access. In a statement, the Bureau of Prisons said that for safety and security reasons, it would not provide further details on its decision, adding only that it believed the measure would be short-lived. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.